Whether you're designing games, interactive 3D experiences, or spatial user interfaces, sound can bring your prototypes to another level by engaging senses and adding an extra layer of immersion. In this Bezi 101 lesson, we'll cover how to add audio files to your project and make them interactive via the state machine. Before we begin, let's go through the differences between the two audio types. An audio object plays sound evenly throughout your entire scene. It's not tied to any specific location. This is great for background music, narration, or sounds that don't need to change as the user moves through your project's environment. A spatial audio object ties the sound to a specific point in space, creating a more immersive experience. As the user moves closer or further away from the source, the volume changes just like the real world. With headphones, users can determine if a sound is coming from either the left or right. This is ideal for things like ambient sound effects, voices, or any audio that should be tied to a specific location within your scene. To fully experience spatial audio, a camera should be used in your scene, so they need to be set up to experience them. There are two ways to add sounds to your project. First is by dragging a supported external audio track onto the canvas. Bezi supports individual MP3 or WAV files of up to 5 MB each. Once added, the audio file will appear as an audio object identified by a purple speaker icon in your scene. Let's press the preview play button to confirm that it's the sound we intend to use. The second way of adding audio is by adding a standard or spatial audio object from the Objects menu and then placing it anywhere in the scene. This method of adding an audio object automatically assigns a default audio track that you can change in the Properties panel. Click on the name of the current audio file in the Properties panel to bring out the File Select pop-up. Here you can choose from any previously loaded files such as this one, which we earlier had dragged onto the scene. To add more sound files, click the plus button to open the Upload Audio pop-up. This window lets you upload an audio file. Once uploaded, you can name the file below for easy identification. If you don't have any audio file handy, Bezi has a library of default audio sounds. Click the drop-down menu on the top left to access it. The Bezi audio library includes a variety of sounds like user interface beeps and ambient background music. This section over here allows us to control the audio object states through the state machine. We'll dive deeper into that later in the video. Now let's convert the sound into a spatial audio object. With that selected, you'll get additional options for spatial, such as range, decay, and fall-off transition curve. To understand these options, let's place a human object here to help you estimate how large your spatial audio object is. Range sets the inner circle's sound dimensions. Within this space, the volume of your spatial audio object plays at 100% volume. The decay boundary is the marker where the user will start hearing a sound. As the user gets closer to the audio source, it gets louder. If you want to change how quickly the audio volume changes from the decay and range boundary, you can switch the transition curve from linear to logarithmic. Alright, now that you know the basics, let's set up the audio objects to work in a scene. To help illustrate how to do so, we've set up this simple project. The interaction is a button with an audio object that signals success. The button also activates spatial audio ambient background music that plays from the computer in the scene. If you'd like to recreate this, the 3D assets shown here are built from the built-in asset library. I won't go into too much detail on how this was set up, but if you haven't seen them yet or need a refresher, we recommend watching the object overview lesson related to cameras, as well as the state machine videos to help you build your version of this setup. First, place an audio object onto the buttons group for better organization. Then change the default audio file to something more appropriate. Create a new state node and name it play. With the play node selected, change the audio properties to playing. Now let's set up the trigger to the button parent group and set the duration to 0 milliseconds. This interaction will play the audio after clicking on the button. Let's go into play mode to see if everything works. If you feel that the volume of the sound is too loud, you can change it in the Properties panel to suit your composition. Next, let's place a spatial audio file next to the computer. Let's set the range and decay to suit the scene's dimensions, and then pick ambient music loop from the Bezi audio library. Now that the spatial audio object's boundaries are set up, let's set up in the state machine. Just like the audio object, we'll create a new play mode and set its trigger to the button group. The only difference is that we'll set it to loop in the Properties panel so that the audio continues to play. Before we go into play mode, we recommend headphones for this. Let's press play. As you can hear, as we press the button, a sound plays from the button and the camera starts moving. As the camera gets closer, the volume gets louder. We've set it up so that the camera pulls back at a slightly different angle so that you can fully experience stereo sound from this demo. You now know how to make highly immersive 3D prototypes with audio and spatial audio in Bezi. We recommend that you experiment with audio objects and other interaction design features to elevate your projects to a higher level. We'll see you in the next lesson.